Hello and welcome to Zelda Speedruns. Today we have, before we go into the brackets of the A Link to the Past randomizer casual boots tournament, we have a tiebreaker of Group C to show between tylersalt, EwolaKoala and KhloePrower. Commentators for this will be Dapper Warman and James FNX. Say hello and take it from here.
Hey everybody,
Hello
welcome in. Hey Dapper Warman, how's it going?
Oh, I'm going great. Sorry to cut you off there. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic, and yeah, we got a tiebreaker. These three runners come in, and two of them will make brackets.
Yeah, very interesting. All three runners, when they played each other, they each won one race. So they won one, they lost one, and they're all hoping to come out in the top two here today.
A little different than these one-on-one races you've seen throughout the tournament. You got to think a little bit differently when you're trying to not finish last out of three.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a little different mentality. Maybe think about it like a big group race, you know, I think some of these runners are going to try and full clear everything, even if it's not maybe the smart rando one-on-one decision, but, you know, would be bad to last locate something, leave progression behind in a dungeon or something like that. So I think we might see a little bit of interesting routing today. And we'll see how this goes for all three of them as we're about to get started.
And if you're new to the settings, casual boots, you can see on our starting screen, all our runners are starting with a sword. They're starting with boots, and they're going to go through the escape sequence. This is a standard mode seed, so they'll be running through the castle, grabbing Zelda, and moving on from there.
Yeah, love to have boots early. Sword is really nice, obviously, paired with those boots, you can just dash through bushes and enemies and stuff like that, as we're going to get a little wisdom from our uncle saying this is the only text box. I don't know if that's true today.
Sure, we'll see one or two more.
And you can see these runners are pretty comfortable with those boots, you know, getting those dash lines down there. And little quirk about the way this game's programmed, you can dash for that bush even though you don't see the sword.
Yeah, you can't slash the sword until you talk to the uncle, but the game still knows that you have a sword, so you can run through those bushes and save a little bit of time, frame or two. See if any of these runners check drop tables. It is rupees on the guards, so we'll get M bombs from them. Don't need bombs for the back of escape like you would normally in a normal standard seed, but having bombs before Kakariko is a really nice thing to have.
Yeah, that's one of the best things about casual boots, in my opinion, is you don't have to farm for bombs or hope that bombs show up. You just can dash into that room at the end of escape with three items back there.
Yeah, and if worst comes to worst, you can always get bombs outside of Kakariko next to the fortune teller. But rather find some bombs here. If you find a hammer, that's a really good find to start out with, a better weapon than this sword.
Oh yeah, that's a great weapon. That's going to deal a lot more damage to that ball and chain guard, and you know, get these runners close to like that 5-minute escape time, hopefully.
Yeah, all we need now is like a mirror.
And we get the small key to the castle. We're going to need that in one of these checks, so had to show up sooner or later.
Yeah, interesting that Tyler and Ewala both chose to hammer that guard, and Chloe, they used some of the muscle memory to the sword escape strats.
Yeah, you know, when you're not used to doing something, it can be a little tricky to pull it out, especially on low health or something like that. And it's our third red 20 here in the escape sequence. as we see EwolaKoala in just a little bit of a lead so far.
I'm surprised that Chloe didn't grab one of those hearts out of Zelda Cell. Or the cell next to Zelda Cell. Down to half a heart. Don't want to die here.
Yeah, that's interesting. Not too likely that they're going to take any damage here in these next few screens, and there are 2 hearts when you get back up into like the first level of the castle that are right there, kind of convenient. So
yeah,
wouldn't be surprised to see Chloe grab those.
These rooms are pretty safe, but that corridor after getting upstairs is a little dangerous, depending on how the guards are facing, etc.
Chloe does have the slow heart beeps on, not like the double or triple speed or whatever you can do on the settings, so probably not annoying them too much. But they did grab 1 heart there.
Yeah, that works out. That should be enough to get out of escape. We've all died on escape once, at least.
Yeah, it's
never a good
fun,
feeling.
So being on half a heart was not very advisable because these rats and snakes can kind of go in crazy directions sometimes.
Yeah, rats do a quarter heart, so they're a little less threatening, but the snakes, they do a full half a heart. Speaking of hearts, a container and Dark Cross.
I'd love seeing all these runners get that key dash through this door, and hopefully they can get it in this key rat room as well. You know, obviously this is the Casual Boots tournament. They've been playing Casual Boots, practicing it, running their 6 races in groups, so they're pretty used to this opening sequence so far.
This is the 7th race for all these runners in the tournament. I don't know if any of them have checked the drop table on the rats. Nothing of value here in the back. We will have one more check at Sanctuary because we did find that map. So 60 rupees will be able to get bottle vendor item without issue. But we'll need to get some rupees or farm some bombs outside Kakariko if we don't find any along the way.
Yeah, that's pretty true. And I think that was a red crystal up at Tower of Hera and a red pendant over there at Eastern Palace.
Yeah.
And then a regular crystal at Desert. And still, the seed is giving us nothing. We do have a hammer, but not a lot of other items so far. And as you mentioned, no bombs so far, so they're probably going to check some tree pulls here on their way up to the lumberjack tree.
Tree pulls and bush crabs. Crabs only giving singles out today. And tier 2 tree pulls just hearts.
A nice full magic drop there on Tyler's side. So, you know, not thinking about using magic right now, but it's nice to have that in case it does come up.
It's a heart container on Lumberjack, and the Ewolakoala checking the tier 1 tree pull also hearts. So, only place we could get bombs from environmental stuff is the tier 3 tree pull, and I don't think any of our runners are going to try and set that up.
Yeah, it's something I like to set up, but it is pretty time consuming. You know, obviously it only takes a few seconds here and there, but if you think about it, you probably get an opportunity to do it at some other point. And, you know, you can get a guaranteed bomb on at a certain point here on the way to Kakariko, and all the runners like avoiding those 20s. I don't know if I agree with that. You know, we gonna have to buy some bombs and some bottle vendor turn in at some point.
Yeah, I would have absolutely grabbed both of those 20s. I would have put our runners at least 100 rupees. While I had a couple of rupee drops to get over 100. But with 100 and the rupees you get in the well and the back of Blind's house, that gets you enough to both pay out the bottle vendor and buy bombs.
Yeah, Tyler getting 2 bombs. Koala getting the 2 as well, and Chloe says, "I just need 1. I'm gonna get some bombs in a chest or something."
Yeah, decent chance. We've got 13 checks here in Kakariko. We've not seen any of the bomb packs yet.
And there are those bombs.
Lucky bomb drop.
Love seeing the hammer through this this room on Koala's side. Love doing that.
Very smooth. More bombs in the back, and nothing of great value here in the lion's hut.
And one of our tournament runners here, Josh Bittner in chat, asking us, "Do you play to win or do you play to not lose?" Yeah, I think you play to not lose here. You know, people like to do the cack skip in casual boots, and none of these runners are doing it. I think it's a safe play to go in and get those like 13 checks or whatever you said it was. You know, make sure you're not missing any major progression, especially in Sphere 1.
Yeah, I think if our runners had found something else and escaped, like a book or bow or a glove, you might have had a better case to skip out on Kakariko for a little bit, but just a hammer. And so far this Kakariko has been pretty barren too. A lot of hard pieces, a lot of arrows and bombs, no progression.
Yeah, we're going to get something in the back of Tavern here. Let's see, Chloe is almost there. And of course there's a couple more checks just on the screen to the south. And there is a glove, so we're 1 key item away from Dark World access now. Just need a Moon Pearl.
Yeah. Would you be blind checking Maze Race here, having only found 2 progression items so far?
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. You know, the sort of recency bias makes you think there's got to be progression there, right?
Either our runners are, and it is just a piece of art, so they'll be paid off for not blind checking Maze Race. We got a hammer, we got a glove, and Chloe and Ewala are both going to head to the South Shore.
Yeah, this is pretty typical, and then you kind of have a decision. Do you go over to the desert area, get Agina Cave? Do you go over to Mini Moldorm Cave? And follow that to Ice Rod Cave, and fall into that trap of water walking to a bunch of stuff that's out of logic. So we'll see if we have any divergence here. But Tyler is also going to South Shore.
Yeah, I kind of like a Dam West play here. Agina is one of those Sphere 0 locations that runners like to kind of pull it off and wait on. And if there's something there, you can pick up a bit of an advantage, and you're not going to lose a ton of time because you do have boots. There's our Moon Pearl. The world is now open to us.
I love this in a 3-way race. We have super early Dark World access. It's like, do you stay in the Light World, check Sphere 1, Sphere 2 locations? Do you go all the way to the Dark World, start beating some dungeons? Like, what do you do? This is a great seed for this 3-way race, in my opinion.
Yeah, a lot of choices. I think that would kind of make me want to go to Agina even more. Like, if you can pick up a mirror somewhere early in the Dark World, or even at Agina, you get to loop a lot of these dense checks in together.
Yeah, for sure. Check at least 5 in Mini Moldorm Cave seems like the right decision. And then, like you said, maybe they go to Agina, maybe they go right into Dark World, because that portal is just up there by Link's house.
Did get Zora money out of Mini Moldorm Cave. Not much else. Blue mail, nice safety, but I don't think any of these runners are going to need safeties as we get further and further along this seed. And that's enough money to get these runners heading over to check Ice Rod Cave and probably do fake flipper checks.
Yeah, that makes sense. You don't, especially when you have that money and have this option available to you, you don't want to be abandoning too much stuff just because the game gave you Dark World access quote unquote early, it doesn't mean it didn't also put other things in this early sphere or early locations. But it looks like Tyler is running up to the Dark World portal here.
Yeah, this is reasonable too. If you want to just leave your water checks in logic and worry about them later, you get the high density check here in Hype Cave. You check the map. We got green pendant at Ice Palace. We got a regular pendant at Misery Mire, and our other 5/6 crystal at Turtle Rock.
So even with this water walk, we got a little divergence on Koala and Chloe's side.
All it's choosing to check under the bridge. Going to lose that water walk heading to a waterfall area. Chloe, they're putting off under the bridge for a bit. Not going to get punished for it though. Nothing major under there. And Hype Cave, not having the hype. Just a lot of cash.
It had a bow, I think.
Oh, did it have a bow?
Oh, yeah.
That is some hype then. That was out in the front.
That's pretty cool. How does Tyler feel about 6 heart, fighter sword, no lamp, no fire source pod? He says, I'm going to go left instead.
Yeah, you kind of really want to dig for a mirror at this point. You know you're going to need it. Swamp Palace is required. And if you get a mirror, you can loop Eastern and Pod together, and it makes that area just so much more convenient.
Oh, yeah.
Water checks.
Eastern is a pendant, so you might not ever have to do it, but definitely would be more convenient to have the mirror.
Absolutely. Water check's not really paying off for our runners. And Chloe into the Dark World. Going to take a look at Hype Cave, get that bow. The Ether Medallion, a dig game.
Yeah, and there's another bow at Zora. As we saw earlier, but I definitely missed on Chloe's side.
Yeah, I saw that. I missed that too. We were all hyped up for the bow for Tyler. So, 2 very early bows. So silver arrows. Tyler is less likely to get those silvers, but both Ewala and Chloe are going to end up with silvers very quickly. The good news for Tyler is that 2 of the bosses where silver arrows are really, really important are just pendants today, but it will be a cost of time again, and if Tyler never goes and gets that second bow from Zora.
Yeah, it's a very real possibility that he could never get those if just, the seed gives him everything he needs in, good locations. Or, it'd be obviously giving it to all the runners, but that is the one skip that Tyler's made so far, so it looks like he's a little ahead going into the Village of Outcasts. I'm assuming that's where the other runners are going to be going as well pretty soon.
Yeah, without a lamp, without a fire rod, Turtle Room is quite frightening in Palace of Darkness. But Koala's going to head at least to the pyramid.
Yeah, it's pretty standard when you do Hype Cave open or for the Dark World to run over here. And, Ewola's already checked Zora area, so going to Catfish might be a good idea.
Yeah,
since that check is pretty isolated at this point.
Yeah, this is Ewala being pretty thorough here, trying to make sure and not leave anything out. Berna in the C-shaped house. And Chloe went to Eastern Palace area over in Saraslo, who has a Bombos medallion.
Okay, having Ether and Bombos is a pretty nice safety to have in that Dark Turtle Room with Pod. So I would imagine if Chloe's definitely going into one of the dungeons here. I don't know if it's going to be Eastern or Pod. Considering Eastern's a pendant, might be a more thoroughly clean out the seed thoroughly check here. Pod would be the more traditional, just cleared Crystal Dungeons route, but looks like they're dipping into Eastern here.
Yeah, it's a It's a very thorough choice. It's more of these, not necessarily wanting to win, but want to play to not lose. You got Tyler in Thieves Town. There's our mirror. That's really good news for Tyler.
Yeah, that's huge.
So now if Tyler gets to the point, Catfish didn't have anything, but if Tyler gets to the point where that's something they check, he can hop back over and get Zora and get those silvers pretty quickly. But that would give him a lot to do and a lot of options coming out of Village Outcast. You go north, you do your Front of Skull Woods plus Bumper Ledge plus Graveyard Ledge in King's Tomb, or do you go south and clean up the... K45 is pretty isolated. If you got a book here, you can go get Bombo's tablet at some point, but that is the one thing that K45 is super isolated by that location.
Yeah, I like to avoid doing, Stumpy and Dig Game until I get that mirror, so I don't have to isolate K45. But without mitts, I would say Tyler probably isn't going to go south. He's going to go north. And there's the flippers, so he doesn't even have to kern jump if he's going to continue all the way to Catfish. He can just use the flippers and logically get across that water there.
Yeah, we got a mirror, got flippers, we got a hammer. We can make some damage in Swamp Palace. No hookshot yet.
Yeah, if Hookshot shows up here in Thieves Town, that'd be pretty epic. But I love this. We're at 19 minutes in. Each runner is in a different dungeon. We haven't even been to the mountain yet. We've got a lot of divergence here in this three-way tiebreaker race. Once again, the first two runners are going to advance, and the third runner will not advance out of this Group C here.
Got Chloe in Eastern Palace. We got Ewolakoala in Palace of Darkness. Nothing yet in there for him. And Tyler picking up that mirror and flippers and a lamp in Thieves Town. Everything in Thieves Town today.
Wow, this is a stacked Thieves Town. That's just going to make his trip over to Pod and Eastern so much better. I mean, he's got lamps, so he's going to be able to do these dark rooms just so much faster than either of these runners that are currently in those dungeons.
You get a book out of Palace of Darkness for Koala? Yeah, that puts the mountain into logic for Tyler. Be able to do all the checks that he needs to that mountain now. Plus, get up to Hera.
Yeah, he might be super tempted to do that right now. There's so many items up there.
Yeah, you get that save and quit spot. You get all those items. You get a 5/6 crystal out of the way. It's really tempting. Palace of Darkness Eastern Palace area is also really tempting. You get 2 dungeons, a ton of items. You get a crystal out of the way. You can make a decision whether you want to do Eastern after you do Pod. There's just a lot of choices for Tyler right now.
And that's what I really like to see in these races, It's give the runners choices, let them do divergence. I don't want to see them in the same place at the same time. I don't want it to be super funneled. And we're just sitting here just watching the same things. This is very exciting.
So Chloe getting through Eastern Palace. It looks like Takena Samaria was in that dungeon. So that's an important piece of the puzzle that our runners are going to have to get to with Turtle Rock required today.
Oh, nice. Where was that? I did miss that.
I missed it too. I saw the red boomerang on the almost draw. So somewhere in Eastern Palace we got. I know it wasn't in Circle, so you have to go into the dungeon to get that one.
And I just saw mitts on the Ewolakoala side in the compass room of Pod, right before the U room. So there is a lot of progression in all these dungeons.
Yeah, Tyler could get bit a little bit if he chooses to go up the mountain instead of doing this Eastern Pod loop. I think if Tyler's going to take this all the way to Catfish, there's a decent chance that he'll keep it going over to Pod and Pyramid as well, though.
Yeah, I think a good route would be to do Catfish, Mirror, and do the Zora. Especially in casual boots, you know everyone's going to do the Water Walk, or a lot of people do. So, sort of the theory of not last locating stuff, that I think all these runners are going to be a little bit thorough. As we see, you know, Chloe being the most thorough so far, going into a pendant before even diving into a crystal.
While getting through Dark Maze here, try not to die before getting both items in here, and then die immediately after you get both items. Did pick up a bottle somewhere. Not sure what's in that bottle. Hopefully it's not a fairy.
Okay, now running back in, either trying to... Oh, they're just going to save and quit out. Obviously, gonna take a lot of time to Death Warp. Yeah, I think that might have been the 5th item.
That was a compass, so I think there's still an item in there. But without a fire source, Turtle Room is fairly dangerous, and it doesn't take that long to get back to the back of the pod. So, not a huge deal to get back there.
And we did get mitts out of there, so it's like a lot of stuff just opened up.
Yeah, so I'm going to guess Wall's going to head over to Village Outcast area, and along with all the goodies in Thieves Town, we'll be able to loop in some of those Smith chain checks if he so chooses. There's silvers for Tyler. And it's going to walk it out. So wants to keep the portal. I think if Tyler's plan is to go back to House of Darkness, it's probably quicker to just save and quit. But is going to run it out.
Yeah. I could tell you exactly what this is, though, because I know Tyler's least favorite check in the game is the pyramid ledge. And this is like the only way in his mind that he's going to be able to do that efficiently. I think it might actually be faster to go from Link's house to the pyramid and then Pod and Eastern. But this is like saying I'm going to force myself to do the pyramid ledge on my way to Pod, because I will never do it if I don't do that. I don't know if it's faster. It might be a minimal time loss or save, but he just wants to make sure he doesn't lose to progression on pyramid ledge.
Yeah, that's fair. Wally going to give us some fresh checks here in Skullwoods.
Yeah, we didn't get Fire Rod, right? So just checking the overworld Skullwoods here.
Yeah, no Fire Rod yet, so just going to get the couple items out of here. Qual, you got silvers. You can just kill those Gibdos. Smart check here from Tyler. Has those flippers, has a mirror, can get under the bridge a lot faster than either of the other runners.
Okay, there was that quake there in the harmless hellway of Pod.
So that's all 3 medallions already. We're going to be on a medallion hunt to get into Turtle Rock today. So far in Skullwoods, just keys. Do have 3 more checks up here, though. More keys. That's all the keys in Skullwoods.
Did we get the big key yet? It was just...
No, we've only opened 3 chests, so they're all small keys. There's a fire rod.
Oh, okay.
That's a nasty location for that fire rod.
Yeah, that's pretty tricky.
And
well, at least we got both items that aren't fire rod locked.
So Koala's just be able to head straight to the back, kill Mothula, and pick up the crystal.
So, from what I can see from Tyler's, we know he's going to get some items here in Pod. I don't know if he's going to go to Eastern or not, but that Fire Rod's going to be pretty nasty for him. Chloe, having not done the Village of Outcasts and Skullwoods area, it's a little to be determined if that Fire Rod's going to be, tricky for them. So a lot to watch out for the next 20 minutes.
Yeah, both Chloe and Ewala having those mitts makes getting in and out of Village Outcast area a little bit faster. You don't have to run around Lost Woods to get in there. So I could see Chloe heading to Skullwoods first as well. But yeah, this is a really tricky spot for Tyler. That Fire Rod is... Anytime an item is a vanilla or French vanilla, it's just kind of a pain point. He's going to bust out the hammer for this fight with Mothula, not use any of that half-magic Fire Rod. I would be just chilling at the bottom of the screen and firing Fire Rod shots, but very, very friendly pattern for Mothula there in EwolaKoala, the quick fight.
Yeah, Moth did a great job of staying right near the middle of the screen, so that hammer, able to use that hitbox from the left side.
And Chloe putting Bombos to good use in that turtle room, getting all the turtles knocked over and killing all of the Bombos.
But yeah, you can see this lamp is just going to make these rooms so much faster for Tyler, and he's got the mirror as well, so doesn't have to take a death warp. But Chloe getting to the back, 17 hits with the hammer here. And we haven't seen Helma yet because Ewola saved and quit out of Pod, right?
Yep. Yeah, chose to save and quit after getting the big chest instead of doing a hammer up and things like that. And just a heart container, but another crystal. That's one for each of our runners right now. And they're all different crystals.
Buckle up, folks. It's going to be a ride. Good news for Ewola that there was not some progression there on Helmasaur, like Flute or something that would make coming back here super quick.
Yeah, that is a nice sign. Although, yeah, after what Ewola's going to find here in Thieves Town, he's going to have a lot of incentive to head up the mountain. So right now, Ewola's got that Fire Rod from Skullwoods. Pretty important. Chloe has got Kana Samaria from Eastern Palace, also pretty important. And then Tyler's got a mirror from Thieves Town and the Flippers. So 3 places, 3 really important items are all kind of split away from each other.
And Chloe has not checked Catfish, is going to do Pyramid and Catfish here. A little bit long to run out of the maze, but I don't think it's any longer than like Tyler running out of Zora area. So, all runners saying, I don't want to last locate some item in like a weird, bad location.
Yeah, a lot of runners have these little pet locations that they'd rather lose than ever check that location. You're just not going to do that when A, it's your tournament life on the line, and B, all you have to do is finish second.
Yeah, the strategy's changed just a little bit.
Wallet in Thieves Town has picked up that mirror. We'll get the flippers and the lamp out of upstairs and downstairs. And Chloe, they're checking out King's Tomb. See where they go from there.
Yeah, that's something Ewolakoala did as well. So they're both going to have sort of isolated this graveyard ledge area. We'll see if either of them wants to route it in after getting their mirror, which we know where that is, here in Thieves Town.
Yeah,
gotta imagine. Sorry.
Did Ewolakoala do catfish yet? Yeah. Or,
yeah, that was they did Hype Cave into Pyramid and Catfish right away.
Ah, okay. So yeah, both these runners, both Chloe and Ewolakoala, are going to have graveyard ledge a little bit isolated. We know it's nothing there, but always in the back of your mind. I missed what Sick Kid had for us. Didn't look like anything super important.
No, it was, I think, some money. That was something Ewolakoala checked earlier as well, before they came into the Dark World here. And Chloe's going right to Village of Outcasts.
A little less painful when you have the mitts. You don't have to do a lot of decision making as to which side you want to go. You could go south and get your Smith chain, and then you can still just come back up and do Skull Woods.
Yeah, they don't have the mirror, so they're thinking I'm going to start here and then start working my way north into Skull Woods. Maybe I find the fire rod here in Thieves Town. It'll be great.
I just noticed the fourth item in Thieves Town is a shovel.
Oh, wow. So we got 4, items.
Yeah, 4 items out of Thieves Town. Oh, Sick Kid had half magic, so that's actually pretty good.
Oh, wow. I totally missed that. Thank you.
Thanks for our tracker, Siberian. Yeah, Siberian and Nervendeutsch doing the tracking for us today.
Yes, thank you for keeping up with the runners. A little bit better than we can, obviously.
Tyler's headed up the mountain. Ewolakoala getting crystal number 2 out of Thieves Town. So Tyler and Ewolakoala at 2 crystals apiece. Chloe about
so Tyler
to get...
did not go into Eastern.
No, Tyler not going Eastern, does not have the Samaria. Ewolakoala has not been in Eastern, does not have that Samaria. That Samaria is really out of the way, and going to be a pretty big advantage if Chloe does end up going to Skull Woods before heading up the mountain, getting that fire rod. We'll be able to potentially check a lot of Turtle Rock or even clear it, depending on where this ice rod's at. With the mitts, while heading south out of Village of Outcasts, doing dig game, likely gonna lead this into all the Smith chain checks.
Yeah, this is going to be some new information for us. Smith chain. I'm wondering if they're going to follow that up with diving into Hookless Swamp.
I think with the entirety of the mountain available, probably Hookless Swamp is a lot less enticing.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
It doesn't matter because we have. It doesn't matter. We have all the medallions.
Yeah, that's good.
It's such a good feeling when you just have all the medallions and haven't even looked at the Turtle Rock or Misery Mire yet. You just don't have to worry.
Yeah, it's much better than the opposite of having no medallions and then, of course, finding the other two before you find that one. Not that that's happened to me ever or anybody else.
Or the even worse feeling of having 2 medallions and just saying, hey, I'm probably in go mode, and then getting up there and realizing you're not actually in go mode.
Yeah, that is the worst. Chloe getting a little off the script here. I think they're going to have enough safeties and such to get through this.
Yeah. That's some Mario if they want to use it. Blind's going to head down to the bottom. A lot easier to hit down there. Bonkable chest in Hookshot Cave, just a blue boomerang. I missed what was in Cave 45 for EwolaKoala. Cash money. And Chloe getting their second crystal.
And that shovel turn in is just a bug net. Yeah, 2 crystals each. Wow.
Briefly say goodbye to this chest. $5.
So I think Tyler did not even go into Tower of Hera yet, which I think is just trying to get the hook shot before going in there. It is a crystal, so he's going to have to beat it eventually. He'll probably circle back for it at some point.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. You're going to be up here. You got a mirror. You can do all these checks no matter really what order you want to do them. You just kind of want to find some progression before you go into Hera, specifically a hookshot to speed that up. Bombo's tablet just having a bottle. I think this is our first look at Akina. Just a piece of art.
Yeah, for all that talk at like 10 minutes, do we go left? Do we go right? Ended up we got Dark World access and no one wanted to go to desert area. But now that we can go into desert and we can fully complete it, that is where Ewola is.
This is a pendant, so this is a... Oh no, this is a crystal. Eastern's a pendant. Yeah, definitely coming here. We're going to get this done. Didn't quite catch what was on the ledge. Though quickly if EwolaKoala chooses to go outside, whether it's important or not.
Yeah, I think it was garbage. But that big key is right here, so we don't need the hook shot in order to beat it quickly. We can just do it the, vanilla way. We don't have to go into the basement and get that big key.
No rule saying that hook shot can't be upstairs here.
Absolutely not. Big key is on the right side of Desert Palace. And Mirror is going to make this a little bit quicker to go back to the front and then run to the left side. I thought that was a hook shot, but it was just a single arrow. Still a pointy thing, just not the right pointy thing.
Key, not what you want to see after having grabbed one item already out of here. So, Moldorm either going to have an item or going to have a compass.
Tyler's hoping he doesn't have to go to the basement, but I think he will if there's an item down there because, he didn't really get a lot off the mountain.
Yeah, I don't think there was anything of value up there so far. No,
that's a big feels bad when the mountain is just completely empty. You figure your opponents are going to check most of the mountain anyway, but then you start going in your head, oh no, they're gonna hit the route and skip the mountain entirely, and I just lost like 5 minutes checking all those things. Fell off the Moldorm here. Moldorm platform. Going in for round 2.
This hammer hitbox a little tricky. Tyler ended up being a little close to Moldorm and couldn't get out of the way. Does pick up that fight. Does pick up the second item, just a heart container. So, with no Samaria and no Fire Rod, Tyler can't do anything else up here.
I think he'll go into Spike Cave because he's got hammer and an invincibility item.
Yeah, we do get one more check up here.
And a pretty quick fight with those silvers by Ewola there on ammo. So nothing out of desert either.
Yeah, both Ewola and Chloe trying to put off this mountain as long as they can.
It makes sense, Maybe you just get to do it in go mode and there's the flute.
So that's gonna help Tyler move around the world a little bit, give him access to a couple items in the Mire Shed area. But Misery Mire being a pendant, that's not necessarily the thing you wanted to find.
Yeah, it's going to make his desert trip a little quicker, which is probably what he's going to do next. And obviously getting around. The Spike Cave is a often skipped check, especially with the way you can get into falling in traps of routing the mountain. So we'll see if these runners even need the flute, let alone go and get it.
Yeah, Tyler's got to be hoping for something valuable in Mire Shed, or if he chooses to dip it in Mire itself. Ewola heading to Eastern Palace, it looks like. The King of Samaria is there.
Yeah, it's a pod as well, because
it's got that. Yeah, got to finish pod up. Now they got that lamp that's going to be super easy.
And did they skip Saha? Oh, they didn't have the mirror when they first came here, of course. So this is like 4 items. And then they're probably going to go into Eastern as well. But maybe not. There's that Bombos.
There's that Bombos in Sarnosa's hut. Muscle memory checking the medallion, even though you have all 3.
Yeah. Might have just wanted to know where logically it was, but you could just think about that later. Oh, there's that ice rod.
That's him. That's the important thing that Tyler needed to find from that flute. So
the flute is
required. Yeah.
And yeah, that was Quake to get into Misery Mire. Tyler not having the... Quake was in the Harmless Hellway, I believe.
Yeah, so pre-lamp. No Fire Rod for Tyler. Does have silvers, though, so not going to be too much of a problem here in this dungeon. So at this point, we're hunting for a hook shot, and then we're hunting for an extra sword somewhere.
Yeah, pretty interesting to see no swords showing up so far.
And by way of bits and pieces, I think the seed is screaming turtle now. It's just an awkward way to get all the pieces for Turtle Rock. You got to get that Samaria out of Eastern Palace. Got to go get the flute out of Spike Cave to go get your ice rod out of Mire Shed. And then the fire rod in Skull Woods.
And there's 3 pieces that you need. You need Samaria, you need fire rod, you need ice rod. All runners have 1 of those 3 items. Neither runner has 2, and none of them have 0. So it's gonna be pretty interesting if one of them dips. without Ice Rod, hoping Ice Rod's there, or dips and says, you know, Fire Rod can be like locked super deep, logically in Turtle Rock. If one of them goes in there, looking for that third item, they're not going to find it.
Right now, we're going to see what Ewolakoala does in the Eastern Palace area, whether he chooses a mirror head to Eastern. And then we'll see if Chloe wants to do the Spike Cave at some point.
So that is a 4th crystal there for Ewola's. That's, I believe, our lead so far at this point.
It's 3 crystals for Ewolakoala, and it is 4, yeah, with Pod, and yeah, that is the lead. Tyler has 3, Chloe has 3 as well. Both Tyler and Chloe, though, very close to getting a 4th crystal. No Eastern Palace for Ewolakoala, so I'm gonna head up the mountain without this Samaria.
I mean, it makes sense. There's 3 items in Eastern, and there's, I don't know, like 20 or something up there on the mountain, including like the dungeon. So,
oh yeah, there's so many items up on the mountain. From a density standpoint, it definitely makes sense to make this play. It's just this is one of those seeds where if you're playing it in like spoiler mode, and you saw the spoiler, you'd be like, oh.
and a new check there. Tyler giving us Checkerboard Cave. It's 300 rupees. Looks like Tyler's not thinking about dipping Misery Mire because he went to the light world here and going into this Agena Cave. So a lot of these runners are looking for 2 or 3 or 4 items here, but we're still actually looking for the hook shot to be in commentary booth go mode, or no mode, I mean.
Yeah. This game's a lot easier when you get to see what everyone's doing.
For sure.
This looks like the Skull Woods play from Tyler, which will get him that Fire Rod.
Yeah, that's pretty nice. He might also be doing Smith Chain, but I think going into Skull Woods is the more thorough decision here.
Yeah, with Mirror and Flute, even if you go deep into Skull Woods, you can just Mirror and Flute back to Village or to Kakariko and get back to Village Outcast very quickly.
Chloe almost falling down the center there, but
that's always a dangerous game. Tyler getting the boomerang out to stun these Gibdos, also forgetting that silver arrows just kill them.
Stuns is just good as a kill in that room, but I do.
Yeah.
It is therapeutic sometimes to throw those silver arrows and kill them.
That'll reduce lag sometimes.
Oh, and a nice bomb bonk set up there to get to that big chest in Hera Ewola's side.
Yeah, that bomb jump's not too tricky, but the punishment for failing it is so huge that some runners will just choose not to do it, especially in a race like this.
So both runners that have been into Skullwoods went into the center room first in order to go and grab that guaranteed key. I don't know. I always like to go in and see if there's a key in the front part first. I guess if there's not, it's a big time waste, but feels worse to like run through 3 or 4 rooms, in my opinion. But you know, got to do with what you feel comfortable with. The guaranteed key, it's sort of like doing DM strats in Ganon's Tower or something like that, I guess. But Tyler gets his Fire Rod and is going to go beat Skullwoods now.
Yeah. Both Chloe and Ewolakoala getting through Moldorm, getting the crystal from Tower of Hera. So Tyler on 5. Chloe's on 4. And Tyler looking to get on 5 here in Skullwoods.
And Tyler was up here in Hookshot Cave. Let's see if I was gonna say I don't know if Chloe can hover or not. It's not gonna hover there. Not many runners can hover, so and then those that do sometimes say it's a waste of time, unless you get like great items out of them.
Yeah, and which we know the only thing you could find back there today is a sword. I think this late into the seed when you're hunting for, I guess Chloe's still hunting for 3 items. Both rods and the hookshot. Tyler's hunting for the hookshot in Samaria. And Koala's hunting for the hookshot, Samaria, and ice rod. So it's tempting if you can do it. But
yeah,
from the booth, we know that there's not a reason to do it today.
Now, Chloe did do Hera before going to the right side of the mountain, so I wouldn't be surprised if they skipped Spike Cave. It would be pretty bad, but then again, it's not too hard to get back there from like a save and quit because you have that old man save and quit point.
I think they'll do it. They did Spiral Cave on the way in before even heading to the Dark World, so after doing the bonk check in Hookshot Cave, we'll be able to just run over and do Spike Cave if they so choose. Sword on the pedestal, so only 2 other swords sitting out in the world.
That's what you like to see in a 3-way race to advance to brackets is, hey, you're going to have to execute well today. You're going to have to be on... You're not going to be on gold. You might be on tempered. You're probably going to be on master.
Yep.
So Wola was trying to hover there and gave it a couple attempts. Said, I'm just going to go on.
Is going to be a Smith chain for Tyler.
Yeah, now he might do Hookless Swamp at this point over going into Misery Mire, Ice Palace, or Eastern Palace, which are all pendants.
Yeah, that does make a fair amount of sense for Tyler.
And here is Chloe going into Turtle Rock. Without Fire Rod, you can get locked out pretty quickly. You can also get all the way to Laser Bridge. So we'll see if this is a shallow dive or a deep dive. So you basically need like the the big key to show up here, and
you need big key to be a vanilla, and compass chest and chain chomp chest to both be small keys. So the right side would have 2 items, whatever they might be. That's it for Chloe in Turtle Rock.
That's good for Chloe, not getting baited into going super far into Turtle Rock.
Yeah, and sticking around is going to head over to Spike Cave because Chloe's hunting for 3 items right now. I can't leave Spike Cave behind. We'll get that flute.
Yeah, that's good.
Ewolakoala head to Hera now. Or heading back over here. Already did Hera. This is going to be a Spike Cave play. So all runners are going to end up getting that flute. As long as nothing goes horribly wrong in Spike Cave. I've never died in Spike Cave before. That's...
Oh yeah, you don't want to take off your invincibility too quick, or miscount the number of hearts or
or
anything like
you're
that.
on Cape and forget that there's a delay. Nothing. No, that's never happened. Nothing bad. Pat asking about Ice Palace here. Ice Palace is a pendant and could also be hookshot locked. So, not a ton of incentive to head in there right now.
Yeah, it could also not be hookshot locked, but the hookshot could be, as far as I can tell, on Pyramid Fairy as well, which is behind the 5 and 6 crystals, which today are Tower of Hera and Turtle Rock.
Yeah, so yeah, Tyler's got an interesting choice here. You can dive Hookless Swamp, just hope there's more vanilla or French vanilla stuff in this seed. We've already seen Fire Rod act that way. Or pick Eastern Palace you can beat. From Tyler Seed, can't beat Meyer, can't beat, or could beat Ice potentially, but it could be out of logic. If you do choose Ice, you need to pay close attention as to the key layout. It looks like this is going to be an Ice choice for Tyler.
Yeah, where is he getting? Did he not check the... Oh, he didn't check the island, so he's in the Dark World going to do that. Just do a blind at this point. I don't know if we've seen it. We've probably seen it.
Yeah, EwolaKoala and Chloe both did water checks early with the fake flipper. Tyler skipped all that.
All right, let's all refresh ourselves on Ice Palace Hookshot. Excuse me, Ice Palace Hookshot key logic as we go into Pendant Ice Palace looking for... He's looking for a few items, but we know we're looking for the hookshot.
He's only looking for 2 items. He's looking for hookshot and a cane of Samaria.
Yeah.
This is not where you want to find the cane of Samaria usually, because Icebreaker, but could be in here. From his perspective, we know it's not. Looks like EwolaKoala is heading over to Eastern Palace, so we'll be able to get that hookshot or that cane of Samaria shortly. Chloe getting their Fire
Rod. Well, it did get the Ice Rod, which is good news.
Yep. So EwolaKoala will be the first to put all the pieces for Turtle Rock together. And it really feels like Turtle Rock is blocking this hookshot. Really feels that way.
Oh, yeah.
There's a ton of incentive for Tyler to be checking these pendant dungeons. But it just really feels like Turtle Rock's the answer today.
Yeah, he can't even get in it now, so he's got to go to the right pendant dungeon first. Because he needs that Samaria, so he's going to do the bomb jump here in case there's an item on the boss, which makes sense.
If you're a head location Ice Palace bomb jumper, this Garnet Sprite's got to be a kind of a pain to try and figure it out with.
Oh yeah, that's why I always use the shadow. Shadow's consistent between all the sprites because it's not part of the sprite. It can be a little bit tricky though. And Moth goes down for Chloe as well.
That's 5 for Chloe. I think all her runners now are at 5 crystals.
Okay, so we haven't... I don't think we got the big key, did we, on Tyler's side? We haven't gotten any small keys.
Yeah, no keys yet. So I think this is... I don't know the math.
He's going to. There's a bomb jump he can do to get to that hookshot locked side, because we might be able to get a key, but I think it would be still hookshot locked.
Right.
So we'll just see what's over here on the right side after he gets this. He's got to go pretty far down on the other side of this block, and then bomb jump over.
Someone much smarter than me, Ravis, in chat, let us know that there's still a chance that this isn't hookshot locked if there's a key in iced tea.
Got it. Okay. Because you can't get to the rooms that require you to use the small key without the big key. I've never seen anyone set it up by facing up. I've always faced right. And he's run out of bombs, so he's not going to be able to do it anymore. So he's getting out. So he didn't even get any items out of there. That feels bad.
Yeah, that's got to feel pretty bad for Tyler. Brightside can buy some bombs right here. We'll see if Tyler chooses to go back into Ice Palace or do something else.
And as you predicted, Willa is going to Turtle Rock. Looks like Chloe's going there too, and they have picked up their ice rod, so they're both going to be able to fully complete this, looking for that go mode hookshot.
Yep. This is going to be Tyler not do ice rod cave yet? No. So of the three runners, Tyler had the best opportunity to get into Eastern Palace with that early mirror and early land.
Yeah.
Is the one runner that has not been there yet to get Samaria. And this is...
Is he going back?
I don't like this. I really don't like this. He's going back.
Well, you know, if you said I'm not going to Eastern because he decided that at some point, you just say I'm going to go to everywhere besides Eastern. This is what you do when you've said that. I mean, hookshot, I guess, could be in here. It's very unlikely at this point, but we're gonna find out a lot of information as soon as he gets over there and gets those items, or opens those chests, be they items or keys or whatnot.
Yep.
So let's see if we'll set up the bomb jump again. I would expect he would do the first Ice Palace bomb jump to get over there. Unless he just rushes like to Ice Tea to see if there's a key there or not. And then resets the dungeon by mirroring, which would be a little bit slower, but at least get some information.
Yeah, I think I would probably... I mean, I wouldn't be here, but I think if I was here, I would probably just rush Ice Tea and see what is potentially in this dungeon at that point. Like, Tyler's still hunting for Samaria, so it being hookshot locked doesn't necessarily mean Samaria isn't there from his perspective.
For sure.
As we see just a heart container in lava chest. We do have 2 of the 5 items out of Turtle Rock so far.
And we've got Mimic Cave coming up. That could also be our key location here.
Mm-hmm.
Although technically it's just, it's not part of Turtle Rock, but everyone just considers it a part of Turtle Rock because it takes so long to get back to get to. And Tyler gets it, puts the bomb on the left and gets pushed down and to the right. So we're going to get those checks here, as long as he doesn't die by crossing these spikes. Oh, he's got an invincibility item, so that'll be good.
Yeah, Tyler really cutting it close there.
And remembers to pull the tongue, that's important.
It's a cape that will be helpful in the... Well, with Fighter Sword, won't actually be helpful in the Cold Stare fight if it comes to that. That's our first item out here.
Yeah, one key so far. And it would be paying close attention. Wola's just a little bit ahead of Chloe here, looking for that those 4 items on Laser Bridge.
Gotten 3 items out of the dungeon so far. 2 heart containers and 300 rupees.
So 1 small key on the right. Okay, he's going to go, so he can go to Iced Tea here. Go drop down here and use the key door to go down. And that'll either be the big key or the... I guess it'd have to be the big key if he doesn't have the big key already.
Correct.
And then we'll see if there's a small key in the big chest. Yeah, it can't be a small key in Iced Tea now, so I think it is hookshot locked. So this dungeon is hookshot locked. We're not going to find the hookshot here, but he's looking for Samaria too. So this could be Samaria.
It depends on what's on the big chest. So essentially, that
right.
big key is an extension of the big chest at this point. The right side checks are hookshot locked, but nothing was in there. Just that cape. And we know Bumper Ledge doesn't lead to anything. Does he have a health? Oh yeah, he's got 2 hearts.
Just gotta avoid these freezors.
Don't want to get version 1 hugged here. Powder. So, no hookshot on the last check.
Powder could be the hookshot, I guess.
It could technically be the hookshot.
And Fighter Sword Trinex means Hammer Trinex.
Yep.
So half magic is nice in this scenario. They've got a lot of health, got some bottles.
So,
we've got 3 scary boss fights on 3 screens right now. Tyler making good work of Cold Stare there. Ewola gets down Trinex.
and Chloe gets on Trinex as well. Well done by all 3 runners.
Oh, there's the mushroom, so these runners can do a fake powder while Tyler gets that powder. So yeah, this is Samaria locked and hookshot locked. Cold Stare, I'm pretty sure, but that.
So Tyler should never turn
that before.
Yeah, Tyler should never turn that green pendant in. Well, it could have a sword, so.
Right, it could have a sword.
So we still need a sword too. So there is a reason to turn that green pendant in, but we're going to immediately check this powder.
The boss. Yeah.
Yeah, powder could have hookshot.
And it could be Pyramid Fairy. But Ewola is turning in the mushroom first.
It's hard to make a case not to turn that in right away. It does get the second bottle. Immediately turn the speed into something more useful. And just money on Magic Bat.
All right, so all that Turtle Rock, all that Ice Palace, that was for nothing. Well, Turtle Rock might not be for nothing. It could be that Pyramid Fairy, which is looking pretty likely. Does Tyler just go into? Oh, he's going to Eastern. But yeah, I was thinking he might go into Swamp.
Green Pendant turn in, and then Eastern Palace while you're here. Meanwhile, Chloe and Ewala going to check out Pyramid Fairy. We'll see what's in there.
If that was a sword on Zaha, that could have been an important thing. If there was like no swords,
that would have been really huge if that was a sword, because that would have been a sword that neither of the other runners are ever going to get.
Yeah. So we'll see that Samaria was before the boss. We'll see if he just like leaves before that. It won't really do him a lot of good because he'll also be full clearing Turtle Rock. But yeah, where is that hook shot?
It's either here, or it's in Mire, or it's in Swamp. Our runner's been kind enough to do just about everything else. It is not
here.
Non-Pyramid Fairy. So, Chloe and Ewala now have a fun game of Pick Your Pendant.
There's also Hookless Swamp.
It's also Hookless Swamp.
I think only one of them read the pedestal, though.
Ewala wouldn't have. Ewala didn't have...
no mirror.
Didn't have the mirror yet. Went into Skullwoods before Thieves Town. I'm not sure if Chloe read the pedestal. No, I know Tyler did, but that's a fair bit less relevant at this point.
Yeah, I guess obviously Tyler's the only one that knows about Ice Palace key logic at this point, but theoretically, in their minds, Hookshot could be on the pendant, the pedestal. I mean, by beating all three pendants.
It looks like Ewala's going to play Hookless Swamp, hope for some more tasty French vanilla. And Tyler, with that, Samaria is out of here and is going to head to Turtle Rock. Chloe going to head to Ice, which we know is a bust. So all eyes on Ewala right now. This is potentially where Hookshot's at. Could find a sword in here. There's never been a sword in Swamp, right?
Well, we're definitely not going to find a glove in Swamp today.
No. Not unless we're in a different tournament.
But Chloe's also going to Ice, going to have a lot quicker Ice Palace with that red cane in hand. Going to be able to get to this hook shot locked side a lot quicker.
Yeah, not going to have to do a very tricky bomb jump. Silver arrows, Chloe's weapon of choice here. I'm a fan of just busting out bombos.
Yeah, that wasn't an ideal room, although I'm sure they've practiced it with a lot of different item loadouts and just didn't get it that time.
Yeah, nice thing is that even if you do use a bunch of arrows here, you can just buy more arrows on the way out.
Just a heart there in the compass room of Swamp Palace. So for anybody just tuning in or wondering what's going on, this is Group C in the Casual Boots Tournament. And this is a three-way tiebreaker race. There's 3 runners tied for first. So the first 2 runners to defeat Ganon today are going to advance into brackets. All these runners played each other. They all went 1-1 against each other. We're looking for the hook shot right now. We've got a few out-of-the-way locations, including Swamp, which is its vanilla location in the vanilla game.
While clearing through Swamp, Chloe in Ice Palace, which we've seen already on Tyler's Salt side, and Tyler in Trouble, which the other two runners have already done. Chat asking if this is the last race to determine brackets. We've got a couple other tiebreakers. I don't know. I think one is scheduled for Monday. I don't know when the other one is scheduled. So there's still a couple of races to go. I'm sure our volunteers will do their best to get those races on the air for everyone to watch.
Yeah, yesterday was like the last day to do your group's races. So we've got about a week here to do the tiebreaker races. Get left side swamp. First chest is red ruby.
That's not what we're looking for.
Yeah, unless you could buy your hookshot for 936 rupees, we did not want that. Oh, Tyler having a rough time here.
Tyler's getting bullied.
And right side, left side swamp. Is it going to be the big key? It's the hookshot.
Oh my goodness. Oh, you hate to see it. EwolaKoala is now one item away from putting the puzzle together. Still need a sword, but a lot of GT to look through for that.
Yeah, you feel pretty bad leaving that there, but I think with this seed, you don't expect either of your opponents to have gone into hookless swamp at really any point until they had to look for the hookshot, and that's exactly the case in this seed.
Yeah, and Ewala forgetting the hardest trick in swamp, which is grabbing the key after getting the hookshot.
Oh, I always forget that.
No one remembers. No one remembers. Yeah, this is a seed where like you can kind of build a route in your mind where someone would have dipped hookless swamp, but it's a very specific route, and if anything else happens, then it becomes way less likely. Tyler was probably the closest to doing it, doing Village Outcast before any of the other Dark World stuff.
Yeah, with the bits location being in pod, that made everything a little bit trickier. Oh, and there's that sword.
Oh, well, there you go. That takes all the fun out of it. All right, so
yeah,
an
I was really
hour
hoping
19.
I was really hoping for a sword or two swords in GT.
So an hour, 19 minutes, 55 seconds or so. Our first of our three runners, EwolaKoala, is in go mode.
Yeah, so Wallace got a pretty good lead here.
Yeah, I don't think Chloe checked bumper ledge yet, just piece heart.
Oh, and Master Sword Argus is just a little bit nicer than Fighter Sword Argus, but still a little tricky if you want to get those spins off of the puffs.
Yeah, while having a little bit of problems here, trying to grab two puffs at a time and spin them or double slash them, gets it there. Does have blue mail, so should have too many problems in this race, in this fight.
It looks like Chloe is just doing every overworld check that they can before going into for the first time hookless swamp.
Or Meyer. There's that. There's also that bait sitting out there as well.
Yeah, I'd be surprised to see if they do Meyer, but before swamp, but it's possible.
So that is crystal number 7 for Ewolakoala. And we're heading up to GT. I know on some channels people really like numbers. Looks like people kind of like numbers here too.
Yeah, just put a random number 1 to 22 in chat. It might have some relevance to what's going on one of our runner screens.
Yeah, you never know. Looks like Ewola's going to take the scenic route up here to avoid dead rock RNG, especially after just getting blocked off even before this screen. Some days you're just sick of dealing with dead rocks.
Oh, yeah. They're the worst. I know it's faster to go in the light world than I usually go through the dark world. But Chloe's going into Misery Mire looking for 2 items.
Yeah, I don't think Chloe's checked the pedestal, and so this is worth a 3rd item. They've already beaten Eastern and Ice Palace. Like, from a density perspective, this is about on par with Swamp Palace.
Yeah, but there's only 2 items in this dungeon, so you're just hoping they show up quickly.
Yeah. While hunting for another sword here in Hookshot Cave. Not going to find one.
I would say that's worth it. That's pretty quick, 3 items.
Yeah, for sure. Tyler having a bit of a fight here with... Oh, that was close. Not out of this yet either. One touch from Trinox is going to send Tyler back to the start, but gets it done. Well done.
Yeah, that was a nice fight. Okay, we got 2 keys in Misery Mire and the key under the pot, so we have plenty of keys to finish this dungeon.
Yep. Into Gannis Tower we go. Got those numbers in chat for all you number lovers. 1 through 22, where we find that big key at. Ewola's gonna go right side, hope right.
Yeah, optimal hope room strats. You get 1 key and you get to go do the right before you go do the left. A big key in the compass room there means there's a small key in this cutscene room, so...
No, that does not mean that. It only means that there could be a small key there.
Oh, interesting.
Small key implies big key. Big key does not imply small key. Welcome in our raiders from ZeldaSpeedRuns here, joining us at the end, and that's going to be check number 7 for that key on the torch. But you're here for a 3-way tiebreaker race in the Link to the Past Casual Boots Tournament. We've got 3 runners. 2 of them will move on to brackets. We've got tylersalt in the upper left, EwolaKoala in the upper right, KhloePrower in the lower left, and EwolaKoala is hunting a little bit for a sword, does have that big key. Does not get paid off and is going to head upstairs. But Tyler and Chloe are both looking for a hook shot, which today is just sitting in Swamp Palace.
And Tyler getting that nice bomb dupe there. If you screen transition at the same frame that there's a little bit of leeway. It might be a couple 3 frames as the bomb explodes. You just get the bomb on the next screen. But Chloe got their 2 items. They are out. So where are they going next? Probably Swamp Palace.
I think that's all that's left. Chloe did not choose to beat the boss, so may know that the pedestal is just a sword, which not worth the time to go get.
If Tyler goes to Swamp right now, this is a race for the second place, which is the last place that will advance.
And it's a fleet to 4, so that is where Tyler's going. So we do have a nice race on our hands between these two runners. Meanwhile, Ewala getting upstairs, going to take a safety door.
Yeah, I don't want to take any chances here. Don't need to come in first, just need to come in at least second. So obviously they don't know where they are in this race, but being just a little bit safe considering no one has finished yet.
Yeah, and looking at the drop tables for these enemies in the gauntlet, I would just have bombos out and just spam bombos. Master Sword doesn't kill the red horse heads very quickly, and they're all dropping magic drops.
Yeah, Fire Rod, Hammer might be useful too, but that nice last couple rooms here, getting those silver arrows out for Landmo 2.
Yeah, that was well done.
So at this point, Chloe's about a couple rooms ahead, maybe about 10 or 15 seconds. See where they end up when they both get their 7th crystal. Meanwhile, Ewala is already through the gauntlet up, going to do his robes 1 and 2 here.
Nearly room for room on the left here between Tyler and Chloe. Ewala torches 1. Gonna open all the chests on the way up, looking for that last sword.
Oh, I would too. Silvers are nice, but Master Sword Ganon is just so slow. Oh for 3 so far.
Oh, we got Mad Moldorm. Nice job by Ewala. Just getting a corner. Not gonna have to worry about falling off there. And last chance, it's another shield.
So where was it? I guess in the basement of GT there was another sword.
Yeah, random room or behind Ice Armos, something like that.
Because we've seen just about everything.
Yeah, it could also be big chest and swamp, but no one's ever gonna look at that check. Feels like Chloe's been a little bit cleaner through the front of the swamp. It's added a few seconds to their lead.
And Aga 2 goes down for Ewala. Just one more fight to go. Chloe going to left side swamp, left chest first.
Yeah, this could be a chance for Tyler to pick up a little bit of time if he makes the call to go right. Hard to make that call, though.
It would definitely be a meme move.
Yeah.
I've done it before. I mean, the reward is good, but the risk, I think, is a little punishing. You have to walk out of a whole nother room. There's like 2 room transitions.
Like, the time is not actually any different because you're going to have to do that anyways. It's really just...
Well, if it's there, but of course, I think this is like Chloe's last location, so of course it's there.
Right. But you're going to have to run out of that room anyways. Like, even if you go there first, you have to make these transitions anyways. You just don't have to do a second climb if it's there. Right. Ewolakoala into the spin cycle. Phase 1 done. Phase 2, 12 spins in the corner. Hop in that red potion we picked up a long, long time ago. And into phase 3. And Ganon does not want to stop for anything.
Yeah, how many warps is too many warps here? Oh, I missed that spin there. But that's okay. Ganon becomes vulnerable pretty quickly after. And don't really need Torch Glitch here, but gonna set it up.
Yeah, it's a little bit harder to get doubles and triples with Master Sword. Gotta hit him. I gotta hit Ganon at the first point to even get there. So while having a little bit of late race panic.
Yeah, it's kind of hard mentally to transition from doing a spin setup to then doing a silverless setup, or a silver setup. Getting Ganon into the blue phase.
Right.
Oh, almost. Oh, good thing that they went up instead of getting knocked down.
Yeah. And that's it. So, EwolaKoala about to cross this bridge. And secure his place in the brackets. Get those GGs in chat. Meanwhile, KhloePrower done with Argus. Crystal number 7. Tyler in Argus. Crystal number 7. Chloe extended their lead a lot in Swamp Palace.
Yeah, Tyler forgot to grab the chest on the, after getting the hook shot, getting the key. Excuse me, not the chest, the key. So
yeah.
That did not help. And as you were saying, Chloe had a little bit cleaner rooms throughout there. So, yeah, about maybe 30 seconds now. And I think we were welcomed by the first of our 2 runners that's going to advance into brackets today, EwolaKoala. Welcome and GG.
GG, thank you.
GG's. Is this kind of what you were hoping for in a tiebreaker race? A little bit items over here, a little bit items over there, or just a lot of different places you had to go?
It was definitely a spicy one. The start was kind of like, oh, free hammer, cool. Where can this go wrong? And it was the swords, as it turns out.
Yeah, the swords and
and that hook shot, I guess, too.
Yeah, hook shot. Ice Rod could have been tricky, but everyone ended up getting into Spike Cave at a relatively decent time.
Yeah, Spike Cave was one that was like, oh, I got this Burna pretty early, and I'm like, okay, Mountain is a play, but no flute, no lamp, I'll put it off for a little bit. And then when I finally got logical access to it, it was like, I should probably think about this Spike Cave. And so I definitely didn't want to abandon it after doing all the other mountain checks. And it turned out that it was actually required. So I was like, yeah, okay, convenient.
And Tyler showing us why, even though it might be faster, Dark World sometimes is the better route to go. Getting up to Ganon's Tower, getting dead rocked there. You didn't have too great of luck on those dead rocks on your final trip up the mountain either.
Yeah, no, dead rocks are not my friend. Pushing A is also not my friend. If you can tell how many times it takes me to open a chest sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, in a 3-way race, it's like nerves are definitely a thing. You just are just don't want to be last. You just got to be first or second. So I feel that.
Did that affect how you played the seed at all? Knowing that you just had to beat one person instead of two?
Not really. Chloe and Tyler are both very good competitors, like as you can tell based on how we split on the whole thing. It was starting to get more nervous at like the hour mark, I would say, when I was still, missing a sword, missing a hook shot, and probably something else. And I'm like, okay, what pendant dungeon do I have to dip? What did my opponents do that I haven't done yet? Looking at the stream, it looks like Ice Palace.
Yeah, both Tyler and Chloe ended up in Ice Palace at different points in this race.
Yeah, Tyler did Ice before going into Eastern. Whereas I think Chloe did the Eastern before doing any Crystal Dungeons at all.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm looking at the credits. That explains where one of the swords were.
Yep.
That's great.
Yeah, Tyler knew about that sword. I don't think Chloe must have known about that sword. Because Chloe was also went to Meyer, and they did not beat the boss. They found both items and left.
Yeah, Ped was never like something on my radar just because I was still needing Samaria for Meyer, and then by the time I found Mirror, it was well past Skullwoods, and I got that book out of Pod, I believe, and so it was never a question of if I'm gonna go back and read it. I kind of gambled on skipping Eastern Boss, just assuming I wouldn't need it, but yeah, that's funny where that ended up.
Yeah, there was a point about 45-50 minutes into the seed where from where Dapper and I were sitting, this seed screamed Turtle Rock, and like none of the three of you had pieced all the pieces for it. I think you had Fire Rod out of Skullwoods, and Chloe had Samaria out of Eastern Palace, and Tyler had the Ice Rod out of Meyer Shed. And it turned out that Turtle Rock just didn't mean anything.
Yeah. One of those seeds where Turtle Rock is like, okay, yeah, I know I need a lot of stuff for you, but it's just all scatterbrained, and I have to go out of my way to find everything, and then you're hoping that you're in Goemon by that time, and you're still looking for things. Stupid hookshot, sword, whatever. Yeah. But no, this seed was, I mean, I guess a little bit trolly, but after the early game, it opened up a lot, especially after finding Lamp, and then you had Logical like everywhere. Had I not accidentally killed too many Dodongos in Pod, I probably would have killed that or tried to beat it in the dark room, but that's why I left and came back later. Just because it's like,
oh yeah,
I really kill myself in here. I have no way to find my way out, so I'm like, you know what, we'll just do it later.
Yeah, we were wondering about that, but yeah, I guess that makes sense. If you've just killed them all, you can't get killed by them. So, obviously did not affect you. We were a little worried that Helma's King might have, a key item, but turned out not to.
Yeah, that's why I didn't want to put it off too far before doing the mountain as well. Because I'm like, all right, let me just get out the stuff that I should have done already, and then we'll continue.
So Chloe has extended their lead just a little bit here. I'm sure both runners are like eyeballing the race time room right now, just hoping that their opponent also last located that hook shot.
Yeah, Tyler, a little bit in danger, does have powder, able to get these fairies. Spent all that time killing the Helmasaur for a key, only to find one just before Boldorm. Looks like Tyler will be getting into the Agnum fight just as Chloe is leaving it.
Yeah, so, we are on Master Sword Ganon. That could be a little bit tricky in phases 1 and 2, so opportunity perhaps there for Tyler if Chloe, falters just a little bit. Don't want to see anybody struggle with this last fight. We've got plenty of health and some safeties, but we'll see what happens here. We've got a race for second place, the last runner to advance into groups, or from groups into brackets. Just missing the double spin there off of the trident. Already in phase 2, putting that cape to good use here. That makes things a lot easier. And Tyler's starting phase 1.
I think Chloe has a blue potion. I know Tyler does. So yeah, just abuse this cape, get a bunch of spins in, and then refill your magic.
Yeah, that's a good strat. I hope they've got a blue potion.
I think everyone bought a blue potion at or Chloe and Tyler both bought, or Chloe and KhloePrower definitely bought a blue potion at potion shop to turn that mushroom in. Tyler may have as well.
I don't want to talk about how bad my cannon fight was. I was just so like nervous at that point. Like, why can't I hit him with a bloody arrow?
Yeah, you did get there though. That is tough, as I was saying, to transition sometimes from spins to setting up those blue Ganon phases. Oh, Tyler takes a death there. Maybe they've got a fairy.
Oh no. Oh. Rough to see. Chloe though. That's 4 hits. Get those GGs in chat.
Yeah, GG, and Chloe is going to be the second of 2 runners to advance to the bracket stage.
GG's to KhloePrower. GG's to tylersalt as well, seeing that finish come in. What a race. What a fight for these 2 playoff spots.
Yeah, that was really fun to watch.
See if Chloe or Tyler want to join us in the booth. We do have KhloePrower on here. GG's, Chloe. Congratulations on moving on.
Hiyo. GG's.
GG's, Chloe.
That was a bit of a gross seed.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 French vanilla items. One is okay. 2 is a little bit uncouth there. So, how'd you feel about when you found that hook shot? What were you feeling?
Well, when I finally got there for whatever reason, I had it in my mind as like, if it's in Swamp Palace, someone's gonna make that gamble and it's gonna be whatever. Basically, I'm just like, I'm gonna do everything but Swamp, and when I finished Mire, I'm just gonna hit my go mode button because I know exactly where it is at this point.
We also have Tyler Salt in here. Tyler, GG's.
GG's.
GG's, Tyler.
I am super fucking salty. Excuse my language. I'm just so pissed at myself for that Ice Palace. GG's to both of you. I felt really good, really good over most of the seed, and then as soon as I was like one or two things from go mode, everything fell apart. I'm super upset with myself.
Nah, that was definitely the seed doing it, because there were so many items left from go mode by the time I had like 4 or 5 crystals. I'm like, okay, well, I still need an ice rod, a hook shot, a Samaria, a sword. I'm like,
Yeah.
where's all this stuff? I don't know. We'll just kind of wander around everywhere. And so the seed was just a little trolly in that sense.
I also took a death on like the end of phase 2 of Ganon. That might have made me and Chloe really close. I'm not sure. They might have been ahead of me anyway, but yeah.
Yeah, Chloe was about 30-45 seconds ahead going into that Ganon fight. So
right,
that did not make the difference. That's the
matter.
good news.
All right. Well, that's good at least. So,
but
did anybody find a tempered sword?
No.
You did.
I found it on
You saw it.
That's true. I saw it was on PED. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. I forgot about that.
I imagine it's in deeper GT as the last one.
Yeah, probably. So
the only other thing I didn't check was
right
hookshot
side and
cave.
left side.
Yeah,
GT.
I checked the first chest of Hookshot Cave, but nothing else.
Hook Cave had red mail. That was the only thing.
Man, that would have helped.
Yeah, I think it's just GT or maybe Big Chest of Swamp.
Yeah.
No, Big Chest of Swamp was
or
the map.
Was the map, yeah.
Yeah. My tracker's empty.
Yeah, I never went into Mire, but I like spent probably like 10 minutes in Ice Palace because I ran out of bombs doing the right side bomb jump, and so had to mirror, and I should have just bailed on it, but I fell victim to the sunk cost fallacy and went back in there because I had only found one item in there, and I was just like, there are two more plus the green pendant. And, like, I should have just left, but I probably would have gone back there before ice or before swamp anyway. So
yeah, that was because there was a decent, from what you had found already, there was a decent chance it was hookshot locked, and there was also a decent chance it was Samaria locked. It was very surprising to see you go back in Ice Palace.
Yeah, I fell victim to the sunk cost fallacy, and I was just like, I can't justify it.
I mean, a lot of runners will tell you need to stick to your guns and your gambles. You can't be wishy-washy. Like, you had clearly chosen to avoid Eastern Palace at one point, so you were like, I have to go to ice, and then
just to mess with you, by the way, after we were talking the other night.
Oh, really?
more or less, yeah.
Okay.
But
yeah. I mean, there was one item there wasn't three or whatever. So
yeah, no, that's true. So I felt good about dipping, like, because I went back there late, and once I got the cane, I was like, no, there's no way the hook shot's in here too. So I just expected it to be on Laser Bridge. So
we all did. I think all 5 of us did. Even and the trackers too, probably.
All right. GG's to the two of you. Make us proud. GG's to Walter too, I guess. Made this race possible.
Yeah, it could have gone either way. Could have gone any or all ways at certain points in the race. So really great race. Thank you, all 3 of you, as well as our trackers, and James FNX for commentating with me.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure. We've got one more race on the schedule for this tournament before brackets. That's going to be Monday evening. Our friendly admin, Josh Bender, taking on Dawkins. Don't have a restream for that yet, but I'm sure we'll get something going. Then there's a couple other tiebreakers that need to get scheduled. So if you're in the Casual Boots Discord, you'll be able to see the schedule there. Get more going for you. Tomorrow night, Josh, you should probably check your schedule then.
Yeah, I think I saw it as the 8th, so we'll see. We'll see what comes up. Just pay attention. Turn on those notification bells, and you'll see them if they're restreamed.
Absolutely. I think that's going to be it for us. And Siberian, thanks for facilitating the restream. Irvin Deutsch, thanks for tracking. And I think Siberian's going to talk us out of here.
Yeah, so, and before we raid over to an ongoing Cross-Keys tournament match on ZSR4, quick preview what's up next here on ZSR itself. In a few minutes, about 15 minutes, we have a Skyward Sword Randomizer Season 2 tournament match on ZSR Main. At 6 p.m. Eastern, we have the Ocarina of Time Randomizer NA Weekly Race. Also at 6 p.m. Eastern, we have a match in the Majora's Mask Randomizer Standard Tournament Season 3. And at 10:30 p.m. Eastern, we have a Zelda 2 Randomizer Tournament match. And we also show an NMG League match at 11 p.m. Eastern. And for more Zelda content, make sure to check our schedule. And left for me to say is thank you very much for watching and see you next time here on ZSR.